Hello there and welcome to the next part of this F1 2017 career mode with Sauber. We're at Bahrain, which is round 3 of the first season, and it's not been going too well in the practice sessions, to be honest. We've lost a lot of time changing parts around FP1. I managed to do the track acclimatisation, and then a few laps after that tweaking a setup, and then FP2 and most of FP3 was pretty much lost to first of all I thought I had a gearbox failure. I lost a gear early on in FP2, which made all the practice programs a bit pointless because I was going to be down on power. So I changed the gearbox out, and that took up the rest of the session time. And then when I started FP3 I realised it wasn't the gearbox that was failing, it was the electronic system in the engine unit that was failing, so I had to swap that out along with something else as well. So we only really had about 10 minutes in FP3, so I haven't managed to do all the practice programs. I think we only picked up about 80 or 90 resource points throughout the whole 3 practice sessions. So we'll listen to the voicemail then, because we're at qualifying now, and this will be our qualifying target. 19th from beat Verline, yeah, okay, fair enough. I think we'll even struggle to do that. We have been off the pace, almost a second off the pace of everyone else around us. So yeah, time management we failed. Qualifying pace program we actually did pass, but only got green for that. And we've purple and a track acclimatisation. That's all we've managed to do. As for our upgrades, a few teams there, as you can see, have increased in the last 2 races. Ferrari have now gone ahead of Mercedes. And I think Toros have gone ahead of Renault, and McLaren have improved as well. As for the R&D tree, we have obviously now, if I can click on this, we have now unlocked this, which is nice, which means that we can now spend money on here to make parts of the engine and everything a bit more reliable. The other 2 things you've got as well is the R&D in progress, which is a boost to the engine power and the rear downforce. That will be ready for Russia. So apart from the a little bit more reliability, not much else has happened. The power unit, as you can see here, we've all now onto the second units for a lot, although I might go back to some of these for like the practice sessions for the next race, just to keep some of these units fresh. And we're already up to 53% on the MG UK, and that's our second unit. The first one was at 78, so we are burning through these quite a lot. Everything else we'll see out of the race. You can see there a new electronic system and energy store which we put on in FP3. The gearbox, you can see at 9%, we put it on at the end of FP2, so we have lost a lot of time in the practice sessions because of it. Other than that, nothing else has changed really, so we'll go to short qualifying and see if we can at least try and out-qualify our teammate. So then here we are in the garage. Set up, I'm not going to make much changes to it, although I might actually add a bit more wing, actually thinking about it. Let's add a bit more wing. Everything else you can see there, it's very similar to the China setup, to be honest with you. So hopefully 5.5 will be a bit more better. We're losing quite a bit of time in Sector 2 and Sector 3 actually as well, even though it is pretty much just 2 straights and a tight corner. I just can't get the last corner right. So we'll go out on track then on the super soft tyres and get our first flying lap in and see where we end up. So it hasn't gone very well. I've noticed we've got 10 laps of fuel in as well, so I'm going to have to change that for our next run. But we'll see what we can do first time out. So coming across the line and first flying lap done. It's probably going to be something in the 34s. No, 33. But we're exactly 4 seconds off of Bottas. So yeah, we need to find probably another second somewhere really, if we're going to be challenging the guys at the back of the field. So then we're back in the garage. There's 3 minutes left, so I've got to get straight back out there if I want to do another lap. You can see there we need to improve by about a second if we're going to get any closer. So yeah, we'll quickly change the tyres then, get back out there and have one more go. So then just coming out of the pits now, there's exactly 3 minutes left of the session. So we'll have a little creep round. I've taken a fuel out the car, we've got 2.5 laps. And yeah, we'll have one more go. We need to find a second to catch up to our teammate. So and here we go. I'll get a nice tow from the McLaren ahead of us. So qualifying is over. Hamilton has taken pole position by 7/10 of a second. My God. From Raikkonen in second, Verstappen and Ricciardo third and fourth, and Vettel Massa in fifth and sixth. Good performance from Stroll in eighth, Bottas back in seventh. Further down, we did get 19th in the end from Stoffel Van Dorn, but we're still 4/10 shy of Alonso, and Verline improved as well. Pretty nice final lap there. You'd have seen I've got a nice toe from Van Dorn. Unfortunately, he did kind of park it on the apex a little bit at the end of the first DRS straight. If it wasn't for that, I only reckon I lost about 2/10 in that, so I don't think it would have done much difference. In fact, it wouldn't. But at least we're off the back row anyway. We haven't managed to out-qualify a teammate, but we did get 19th. So every cloud and all that, and hopefully we'll have a bit of pace in the race, but I'm not confident, that's for sure. So then the resource points. 55 brings us up to 756, and a rivalry update. Well, we both completed qualifying, but he unfortunately did set a quicker time, so he's pulled away by another point. Very close between the two of us. The reputation level finished 19th for Ohio. We achieved that, but then we lose the 2 points for not beating Verline, so nothing's really changed. For the reputation of Haas has gone up a little bit more, as has Force India. And now we will listen to the voicemail then, see what our race objectives are going to be. 19th, that's it basically, and beat Verline. So ideally what I want is Verline to retire, and then I can just trundle around at the back and I'll hit all my targets. But we will try and go for it as best as we can, maybe do something different with a strategy, although I don't really see, you know, obviously rain won't be a factor, but you never know, it might be a safety car or something like that, we can take advantage of it. So have a quick look at the laptop then. Nothing much to look at really. We will have a look at, how's our power units doing? 30% in the gearbox. 53% on the ICE, the MGUK is at 63%, 49, 11, 44 and 11, so we might be having to swap parts out again before the next qualifying and race session. I'll probably use all of this lot for the practice sessions for the next event, but right now we're going to be focusing on this one. So we'll go to the racing, have a look at our race strategy, and hopefully make a decent start. So then the race strategy screen. We'll keep it at 16 laps, that seems alright. Starting on the super softs and going on to the soft tyres. Okay then, we'll just run with everyone else and see what we can do running similar tyres. And if we get like maybe an early safety car or something, we might go onto the mediums and see what we can do from that. So yeah, strategy's all done then, we'll keep it at that, and we'll go on to the formation lap, get that out of the way, and then start the nighttime race here at Bahrain. So then here we go, the lights come on, we need a good start here, keep out of trouble, let's get them revs up right to where they should be. Lights out now, plenty of wheel spin at the start. We've got to keep it clean down into turn one if we can. Oh, we're going to go up the inside of a few people if we can, but the McLaren's coming through as well. Oh hello, there's a bit of a pile up here. Oh, what's going on here? We're going to creep around these guys. Something's happened. Oh, legal overtaking Perez. Right, that's that done. And now Magnus can get through. So I'm not too sure what's happened further back at turn 2. Bit cheeky to go around the outside, but I don't care. So out of the final corner in 11th place at the end of the first lap. I think I'm going to come under attack here from Grosjean. Try and hold it around the outside if we can. And we do, nice. We stay in 11th. Going to try it up the inside. Oh, we've tagged the back of Ocon. So the MG UK is failing a little bit. We're being advised to stay out of witch mode to keep the wear down as best as we can. Now into lap 3, so DRS is enabled. Here comes Magnussen back up the inside. We sort of left our braking very late there. Oh, great stuff though. Oh, he's made contact. Get off us. qualifying under attack from both Haas drivers now. Oh, this front wing is really not helping us. Oh, we've run wide. Front wing, please. Oh, there's a Haas there. Let's not steer into him. Running wide again. The understeer is really killing us at the moment. We're going to have to change the wing at our pit stop. That's really frustrating. Oh, Kvyat's locked up as well. So what's Jeff saying? Change strategy? 10 laps in the softs? No, I think we'll stick with the original plan. Here comes Hulkenberg. Yellow flags are up for some reason. Hulkenberg's gone slow because of it, so we'll go straight back up the inside into turn 2. Oh, teammates out. That's ironic, isn't it? That's kind of what I hoped for, really. 19th place and beat our teammate. Well, as long as we finish, we'll do both. Right, we're going to pit at the end of this lap. MG UK is at 64% now. Let's make sure I've got the soft tyres selected. I have. So we're going to pit now, get off these very worn super soft tyres, fix the wing as well. And, well, I'd say try an undercut, but we're going to be probably last once the everyone's made a pit stop because of the front wing change. Right, let's push. Put it into rich mix for a couple of laps. I'm going to risk it. So most of the guys have made a pit stop now, I think. Here comes Sainz out of the pits. Oh, you're so slow, mate. Oh, touch wheels a little bit. We've done Sainz. And I think the McLarens have yet to make a pit stop as well, so we've still got a chance here of not finishing last. So Alonso's in the pits now and going on to set of super soft tyres. We're going to jump in. There we go. So up to at least 17th. Here comes Van Dorn at the pits. Can we get ahead of him for 16th? We can. Sorry. Oh, that's interesting then. So 3 laps to go. We're maintaining the gap to Sainz behind us, and Palmer just ahead of us has got a problem with his car. So hopefully that will slow him down enough, and we can maybe creep past him into 15th. And I wonder where Raikkonen is as well, because he's still got an issue. Coming down to the final corner, we are creeping up on Palmer, but we would have needed probably another 2 laps really. So I'll take 16th place, to be honest. Could have been better, could have been worse. So we are then the race results. Hamilton wins from Vettel with Bottas in 3rd. Further down, Raikkonen ended up finishing in 12th place after he had some mechanical issues with his car. Kvyat picks up the final point, who we was battling with early on in the race. So if we'd still had a pace to Kvyat, we may have well picked up a few points. Further down then, so we did finish in 16th place, a couple of seconds shy of Jolyon Palmer, and we did set a faster race lap than him. Sainz was 17th ahead of Van Dorn and Alonso, with our own teammate failing to finish. So 16th place overall. Lap time 34.4 was our best, which is yeah, a little bit faster than Palmer and over a second quicker than these 3 guys, so obviously all of them had problems. The standings then, Bottas now leads the championship on 58 points, closely followed by his teammate Hamilton on 55, with Raikkonen in 3rd on 43. In the Constructors, Mercedes lead on 113, Ferrari in 2nd on 73, and Red Bull hit the bullseye with 50 points. So then our resource points, we've done quite well out of this, hopefully more than 100. Indeed it is 120, 876 in total. The rivalry update, we would have smashed that because Verlon obviously retired, so we now go ahead of him by 2 points. I think it's the first time we've been leading the rivalry, and it's taken us all the way up to the 3rd race to do so. The team approval then, 19 for hire +4, beat Pascal Verline +2, so we're creeping up to the purple. As for reputation, well, the McLaren one has absolutely shot up. Look at that, all the way from nothing to where it is now. Red Bull's up a little bit as well, but Haas is still leading the way in the reputation stakes. And then the career score. It won't be too good for the practice session, as you see, and qualifying as well, but good for the race, considering we did quite well. And we pick up 4,646, so still quite low really. So we'll have a quick look at the laptop then and see what our parts are like. Let's have a quick look. So R&D in progress. We've got 2 bits arriving in Russia, so I won't be doing any upgrades now because we've only got 876 points. So it's a bit, we won't see any noticeable gains, so it'll probably be until maybe after Spain. Which I think is the 5th round, where we'll think of doing something there. As for our power units, I'll be using all these in practice and then changing them out towards the end of each session. In fact, the electronics and the energy store could probably get us through the whole of the Russian weekend, but these 4 will definitely need to be changed out at some point. The gearbox is also okay as well. So we'll leave the episode there then. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, practice session and qualifying wasn't brilliant, and for some reason it started being 20th even though I qualified in 19th, but the race was okay. We had decent pace, and I think we would have probably finished, well, we would have finished ahead of Palmer if it wasn't for the front wing change and maybe a couple of positions higher, so maybe around 13th, 14th, which I think would have been quite good. But slowly getting better at the game, slowly working on the setups and slowly finding some pace as well, and hopefully with the upgrades coming at Russia we can make a little step forward in that as well. So yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.